So in this video, I wanted to talk about the 8 things I learned when growing my channel from 0 to 100 subscribers. Hey guys, I'm Tom, and if it's your first time on the channel, thank you for being here. Rewrite the Rulebook is all about empowering you to break down limitations so you can create your best life. So if you're the kind of person that believes in pushing your potential, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And make sure you stick around for all of these because some of these might surprise you. So with that said, let's jump into it. So one of the things that I learned early on, and this went against everything I thought I knew, was that the worst thing, or one of the worst things you can do, is to try and make everybody enjoy your video. Now let me elaborate on that, because this principle doesn't just apply to YouTube, this applies to life. You see people all the time who will try to constantly change their persona or go against who they are in order to get more and more people to like them. The problem with that is, whilst people might like you, nobody really knows you, nobody cares about you, nobody has the opportunity to build up a connection with you because you're not being vulnerable, you're not being authentic, you're not being who you truly are. So when you're putting up that mask of being someone else, people can't get to know you and you can't build real relationships. So even though you might be able to get a channel up to 3 million subscribers, nobody's really going to know you. Nobody's going to have a connection with you. So those subscribers aren't going to be loyal. They're not going to watch your content because your subscribers don't know who you are. And this is so important, so please take this one seriously because this can have a huge impact on your success on YouTube. Now there's a couple of books that I read that completely changed my perspective on this. The first one was Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Now in the book he talks about creating something with a true vision and purpose and a mission, something that comes from your values, something that people can get behind and understand who you are. So your vibe will attract your tribe. The vibe that you give off, the person you are, will attract people like you, and they're the kind of people that you want on your channel. You see people doing this enough in life and at work, just feeling exhausted because they're having to constantly try to be somebody they're not. Imagine how good it would feel to know that you had subscribers who you didn't have to change yourself around. You didn't have to be somebody else. And the second book is a book called Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley. Now in this book he talks about a theory that Kevin Kelly put together. You might have heard about 1,000 true fans or 1,000 true subscribers. And what that means is that you could have somebody that has 100,000 subscribers or a following of 100,000 people, but nobody really knows who they are. Nobody really cares about them because they've just gone about getting all these quick wins and trying to get people to follow them through certain tactics and techniques, but they haven't invested the time to build up the relationship. So it's often said in marketing, you can have a list of 1 million people, but if those people don't know you, that list is worthless. Whereas if you have a list of 1,000 true fans, that list is going to be worth more than that list of 1 million people all day because they will follow you to the end of the earth. They believe what you believe, and that's a really important lesson to learn with YouTube, is that you need to focus on building a community around your beliefs, your passions, and who you are as a person, and being able to connect with people and engage with people on an authentic level. That's what it really means to be a true creator and influencer. You hear the term thrown around all the time. It's so important to remember that. The second lesson I learned, being a creator is not easy. See, I had this misconception when I started on YouTube that, oh, it's easy, you just put out a few videos, you know, just keep putting videos out every week. How hard can it be, right? It doesn't sound hard. And I think there's a really unfair judgment on people that do YouTube, like, oh, they're lucky. They, you know, managed to break 1 million subscribers all down to luck. It is not luck. It's hard work and perseverance. When you look at the amount of videos that some of these creators with, you know, millions of subscribers have put out, tens of thousands of videos, and the content is quality. This is the key here, but they know who their target audience is. They know what they're about, they know what they enjoy, and they've built up a following of like-minded individuals. That's not to say it's easy to create this content. There's a lot of hard work that goes into coming up with original content, that goes into creating quality content, the video editing that goes on behind the scenes, having to make videos consistently even when you don't feel like it. We're always going to have bad days and tough times, but being a creator and being a full-time YouTuber means that you have to do it constantly and consistently, regardless of how you're feeling. And that in itself is not an easy job. And then there's everything else that goes into it. Monitoring statistics, understanding where you're going wrong, what you could do differently, how you can improve, and constantly striving to build upon what you've got day in and day out. So don't make the mistake of thinking that this is going to be an easy ride, because it's not. Now, the third lesson I learned is don't obsess over the little things. See, I spent so much time worrying about ranking videos, what keywords, what thumbnails to use, what titles to use. And whilst those things are important, it's not nearly as important as the quality and consistency of the content you're putting out and knowing who your target audience is, like I mentioned in the first point. These are your foundations. Don't get me wrong, it's important to understand how keywords work and how you can get videos ranked on YouTube in order to grow your channel over time. But don't spend time obsessing over these little tweaks and changes you can make when you haven't even got the foundations right. You see this in so many areas of business and in life. People spend so much time obsessing over the fine details that they never actually get started, and they never set the foundations. They start a channel with all these nice looking thumbnails and keywords, but not really knowing who the channel's about or who it's for. And then nobody follows or subscribes to them because their audience are confused. If you don't know who your channel's for, your audience certainly don't, and they're not going to follow you. The fourth lesson I learned is community, subscribers, and engagement is everything. You need to be talking to people, especially in these initial stages. In order to grow a channel, you need to be out there. You need to be networking with other creators and bouncing ideas off each other, building relationships, understanding what people are watching, what they're into. You can't just get away with liking people's comments occasionally like you see on Facebook. You need to really build up a community and engage with people. If somebody leaves a comment on your video, your first priority should be to engage with them, talk to them, start building up a conversation and building up a rapport, because why else are you doing it? But you need to put in the work to nurture those relationships and build up those connections. The fifth lesson I learned: don't try to take your viewers away from YouTube. Now, to start with, depending how many social platforms you're on, you might have an inclination to want to maybe direct people to your Facebook page or Twitter account and get them to like you on there after they've watched your video. But you need to understand that one of the biggest metrics that YouTube looks at when it comes to ranking your videos is watch time. And as far as YouTube are concerned, the longer somebody stays on YouTube for, the better they are going to promote that video. If your video is encouraging people to stay on YouTube, YouTube will reward you for it. So whether that be linking to another person's video, somebody else that you talk about and you can set up cards in the video like I've done here, or even linking to one of your own videos with an end screen, a video that's related that your viewers are actually going to enjoy. But you need to do this respectfully to your subscribers. Don't just spam them with a load of videos just to get them to stay on YouTube. Give them content that they can really use, stuff that they're going to benefit from. Always lead with value and think about how you could help your subscribers and what you can offer back to them. Now, the sixth lesson I learned, and this might just surprise you, but subscribers don't really mean anything. And this again comes back to the earlier points about having true fans. But if you haven't built up a community around your videos, people aren't going to watch them. See, when it comes to subscribers, if people are engaged with videos or they're engaged with a certain YouTuber and creator, and they feel like they know them, they feel like they have a relationship, they will be more inclined to watch those videos, to comment on those videos, to engage, to talk to each other. A lot of people will click the subscribe button just because they enjoyed a video, or maybe it was a motivational video and they wanted to see more of it next time they're in the gym for a workout, but they don't have a connection. There's no real inclination to go back to that channel. They'll likely just type into YouTube motivational videos again and look for the next one because they don't have a connection with that individual. Once you've got a connection and a relationship built, people will come back to your channel because there's already a form of relationship that's been built there. To give you an example of this, there's a channel that I love at the moment called How to ADHD by Jessica McCabe. And she gives incredible value back to her subscribers and to her community. And you can really tell the videos she's talking about some of the problems, challenges, and how to deal with certain symptoms of ADHD. And her subscribers love her for it. She's always looking at ways to give value and to give back to people and to have fun with her subscribers. She's really built up an incredible community and a following. See, she engages with her community whenever she can, and she's over 200,000 subscribers now. And this is one of the things you'll notice is that when you look at Jessica's videos, they've always nearly got over 100,000 views. But then you see some people that will have 2 million subscribers, and some of their videos have only got 2,000 views. And that to me is just a perfect example of where people haven't taken the time to build up a relationship with their following and with their audience. And number 7, you don't need to spend thousands of pounds on professional equipment. See, this is another very easy trap to fall into, because some of the YouTubers that we might look up to and admire, we see them shooting incredible looking videos with these high-spec DSLR cameras with the blurred backgrounds and amazing looking sets and incredible audio. You just don't need that to get started, and I think this can be an incredible stumbling block for a lot of people because it will actually stop people getting started. But I've seen channels that have got 50,000 plus subscribers with an incredibly loyal following, and all of their videos are shot on a webcam. See, this is the thing, and it goes back to obsessing over these little points, is as long as you've got your content right, it's quality content, and you're focused on giving value back to your audience and your viewers, and you understand who they are and who your content is aimed at, the viewers will come, the subscribers will come. You don't need these little tweaks and the equipment to be able to grow that channel. Of course, these things are going to help in the long run, but don't let that stop you from creating your channel. So lastly, number 8, and one of the most profound and surprising points about this whole journey for me, is it's really been an incredible tool to be able to find myself, to find my voice. You'll be amazed how quickly you get to learn more about yourself and develop this sense of self-awareness just from being on camera, spending time talking to the camera and getting to know yourself a bit better, seeing how you talk, seeing how you communicate. And it really allows you to look deep inside and find out who you are, because I think it's something we can quite easily forget. So if you're thinking about getting started on YouTube, don't wait around. Do it, because it's an incredible thing to do and you will find so much benefit and value from it. And if you follow these steps and do it right, I'm sure you'll be able to eventually benefit thousands, if not millions, in the process. But the reason I wanted to do this video is to make sure that you have your expectations set right before going into this, and that you're not doing it for the wrong reasons, or you're not beating yourself up about these little things. It's going to take time. Even now, as of making this video, I'm only on 118 subscribers, but I understand that it's going to take time. So stick with it, ask the right questions, and don't give up. So there you go, guys, that's my top 8 lessons that I've learned from starting on YouTube. Now I want to know which lesson you're going to be putting into action today, so let me know in the comments, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these videos. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.